Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your 2020 June general reading. We're looking at the first half of June from the 1st to the 15th. This reading is for the fire sign of Leo, our lovely lions. Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. I hope everyone is safe and well, continuing to stay safe and well. Thanks for all that you have done and continue doing in support of this channel, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your donations, or just, again, taking the time to tune in today. Much appreciated. Thank you. So, this reading is for the fire sign of Leo for June 1st through the 15th. That's Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising, if your Venus is in Leo, if you're cross-watching for a Leo. But general readings resonate, of course, a little differently for everyone. So if you know all your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them as well. Can always bring in additional perspectives and information in what's going on in your life. If any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something or reach out for a personal reading, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details. Click on the little arrow that pulls down information. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I can usually respond to initial inquiries with more info the same day or the first 24 hours. And scheduling's done in a pretty timely fashion too. I'm pretty diligent at working with everyone's schedules and my own. As I do readings full time, it's all that I do. So I try and set them up as quickly as I can, schedule permitting. So email me if you're interested. All right, Leo, let's see what the first half of June looks like for you. I'm using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. I am also using an external microphone. I know there was some volume issues with the last set of generals. So I actually ordered 2 external microphones, this cheap one, which I'm using now to kind of get us through, and then a very nice video conferencing one, which is taking a little bit longer to get here. Okay, Leo. June 1st through the 15th for our lions. All right, Leo. We begin with the 10 of Wands, followed by the Magician. We have the Emperor, followed by Temperance. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the King of Coins. This could also be someone external to you that is somehow significant or influential for you in the first 2 weeks of June. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising. As an external individual, this would be somebody who, the King of Coins is the King of Earth. So somebody solid, stable, reliable, probably somebody financially comfortable, if not well off. They've worked hard to get to where they're at. They enjoy comfortable things, a comfortable life. They tend to be pretty loyal, sincere, generous people. And they believe everybody should have the opportunity to get to where they've gotten to. So this might be somebody external to you. For others of you, this could be your energy during the first half of June, or what you're focused on in the first half of June, because coins is governed by the element of earth, and it's usually about the solidity and stability of the physical day-to-day structure of our life, which is often why the suit of coins or pentacles points to things in the tarot like money, finance, property, resource, asset, job, long-term relationships, the things in our day-to-day life that make us feel safe, stable, secure, makes us feel grounded, gives us a sense of continuity, whether they're actual things or money or people or a combination of all of those things. So it could be that that's your focus, maintaining a sense of stability or working on obtaining a sense of stability. And Leo, I'm getting kind of this sense of exhaustion just looking at these cards. It almost feels kind of hard to breathe. It looks like you're feeling just in the first half of June kind of wore out, or feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulder, or you're responsible for so much, or you're just tired of trying to manifest everything and keep everything, running, keep everything stable, stay on top of things. You're doing it, but it feels like you're really tired. And what the thing is you're tired about, of course, in a general reading, this is going to vary. Some of you, it might be, the earth energy area of your life, like money, finance, your job, your work, keeping things going. For others of you, this might represent a relationship, a love and romance relationship, a friendship relationship. It could be family dynamics as well. Maybe it's the exhaustion of keeping things going in your family and paying the bills. It could be just keeping things steady during this time. It's been, kind of a crazy ride the last few months. And we all most of us, if not all of us, are kind of going through different stages of quarantine fatigue. I've heard it called, just kind of tired of things being the way it is and feeling like everything becomes kind of a burden, and tired of living with, even if it's low levels of stress and fear. So there's a sense of trying to keep it all together. And you are, but it feels like, particularly the first week of June, you're just so tired of it. And I'm feeling this as I'm looking at this cards again. It's almost kind of hard to breathe. It's just kind of a sense of heaviness, but it's winding down to a close because we have the Ten of Wands here and the Magician, the Manifester. It's exactly what's making you feel exhausted. The Magician, he is a manifester. He's kind of like the entrepreneur of the tarot. He's worked long and hard to get to where he's at, just like that King of Coins has. And he's very good at manifesting. This is somebody who, because of his experience and work and everything that he's learned, trial and error, success and failure, he's reached a point where he now knows how to take what's in his head, what's in his heart, what he wants to make possible, what he wants to manifest. He knows how to take his skills, his tools, his experience, all the resources he knows how to pull together in order to take what's in his head and his heart and physically manifest it, physically make it reality. The Magician is really good at doing this because of how hard he's worked. And again, so is the King of Coins. So, but that clarifies the crowning card, which is the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is about a long-held burden. It's a rather extreme kind of picture. I often use Cyril Marchetti's Gilded Tarot, or Gilded Tarot Royale, in general readings, and in that one it shows the Ten of Wands as a person who's carrying a bundle of 10 wands on his back, and it's so heavy that he has to walk bowed over. But tens represent cycles completion, so it represents that you're at the end of something. This is the very tail end of something, because a 10 represents the most of that energy of that suit, the fulfillment, the complete, the most that is in that suit. And wands is fire energy, and that's all about change, movement, action, power. But in this Ten of Wands, in this deck, it's even more extreme. This man has this, bundle of triangular bundle of wands on his back, and it's so heavy and so burdensome that he's actually on his belly kind of clawing those last few feet, because tens represent that you are at the end of this. And I feel like whatever the situation is for you, Leo, whether it's a money situation or something in the physical structure of your day-to-day life, or a relationship, or just keeping things going in your life, it's something that you've invested in for a long time, because we're at the 10 here. We don't get to this kind of energy without beginning at the ace, with the ace, which is the number 1, and the 2, and so forth. This probably began, quite some time ago, with you standing upright with 1 or 2 wands on your back, strolling through the woods whistling. But over time it's become a burden, something heavy. It's a card that can represent feeling just overwhelmed, exhausted, tired. And it's clarified by the Magician, who's the manifester. He's very good at what he does, again, like that King of Coins. And it's not that I feel there's a failure here, or that you're really going backwards, but it just feels like you're going through one of those times that we all go through, Leo, where you're very good at what you do, you're very good at keeping life going, the family going, your household going, your job going, whatever it is. but you're just kind of tired of being like the one that's in charge of it all, or the one that's responsible for it all. You may feel a bit overwhelmed. The end of May, first week of June. Next we have the Emperor, followed by Temperance. So this is good energy. It's very stable, responsible, disciplined energy. It kind of feels like, you have this spot in the first week of June, Leo, where you're just like, oh, I'm so tired. Because you're obviously here, I think many of you, the Emperor, the Magician, and the King of Coins is all you. Like, you're stable, you work hard to maintain the stability, you're working hard to manifest something. You may have been trying to manifest this particular thing or putting a lot of effort into this particular thing for quite some time, and you're holding it together. You're being disciplined and responsible. You're adhering to everything that needs to happen. You're paying attention to details. That's what the Emperor is all about. It can represent a father figure, or an Aries individual. But the energetic definition of the Emperor has an enormous job. That's why he's known for being very kind of dominant, structured, rigid, even sometimes very disciplined. He's all into, going by the book and making sure all the details are covered, and delegating and making sure that everybody reports back to him. He's in charge of all the kings, all the kingdoms. He runs an entire empire, and it's an enormous job, so there's a lot on his shoulder. And he often forgets. That's why the Empress is a great counterpart for him, because it softens up his hard, rigid edges. He often forgets how to have fun, or everything else is so much more important to him, because everything that he does, he understands that every decision he makes affects everyone in his empire. So he often understands what it's like, because of his actions, to set his own personal wants and feelings and exhaustion aside for the greater good of the people that he's in charge of, or the people that he governs. You can take this down to a more practical level now. You could be like the big boss at the head of a company. You could just be, a husband or a wife, and you're the one that, the responsibility of the home and the family is on your shoulders. Could be a single parent. You could be single and on your own and still feeling this way. But the Emperor, he's in charge of, he has an enormous job. And it's sitting right next to the Ten of Wands, too. Self-discipline, structure, setting your own stuff aside, your own needs, your own emotional stuff, for the greater good of what you're in charge of. And it's clarified by Temperance, too, which is a very good accompanying energy for the Emperor, because Temperance is about staying in the middle, staying grounded, keeping balanced, holding opposite extremes in unison and harmony, slowly trying to make things come together and blend and work in a balanced, harmonious sort of mixture, keeping it all together. So, it's a good reading, Leo, in that you're keeping it steady. It just feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulder, and it gets to you. Especially the first week of June, it's just kind of like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of trying to keep it together. I'm so tired of putting all the work and effort into this. I'm so tired of, trying to manifest this and keeping things going all the time, even though you are doing it successfully. It looks like that energy kind of eases up around the second week of June. It's like the second week of June, you're like, okay, let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And a cycle is closing out for you. You may be at the end of it, you may be approaching the end of it, but that's what the Ten of Wands represents. Whatever this is for you, Leo, in the details of your own specific life, it's coming to an end. You're in the last few feet here of manifesting this. So let's clarify some of this. Let's clarify this King of Coins. Who or what is this King of Coins about? The Five of Coins. So this is a card of, it can be a card of poverty, it can be a card of insufficiency or lack. It's clarifying the King of Cups. I mean, some of you might be going through some money or financial issues. It can also represent emotional poverty as well. If this is about a relationship in your life, it represents being in need and feeling like a beggar, feeling like you have to, please, can I have some? Please, I need. It's a card of being in need and of being in want, and what you have isn't sufficient, and you can't provide it on your own. So you're kind of like begging. You're reaching your hand out. So, and it's clarifying the King of Coins, who has worked really hard to not be in that place, and he's now, the King of Coins. I mean, some of you might be having some financial hardships. I mean, I know economically the world is just in a big mess right now. And a lot of people have, been furloughed or laid off, lost their jobs, can't get another one, etc. So some of you might be dealing with, financial, material, monetary issues. And, maybe you're struggling to make ends meet, struggling to keep it together, struggling to, pay the bills, robbing Peter to pay Paul, all of this kind of stuff. I mean, for those of you going through financial, hardship right now, which is a lot of people, your focus, it looks like for the first half of June, is keeping things together, keeping things running, maybe feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You might be in a more or less stable place, but you have this fear, of insufficiency and lack. If you stop, if you slow down, that you can't stop, you can't slow down, you can't take time off, you can't do this because otherwise you're going to be in this place. It might be that for some of you as well. But it looks like you're actually holding it together very, very well. Let's clarify this Ten of Wands. Let's clarify this coming to the end of this heavy burden, feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Right. I'm not laughing at you, Leo. Well, I am, but not in a bad way. I'm a Leo too. My sun is in Leo. So we're clarifying the Ten of Wands, this, really heavy burden cycling down to a close. To clarify it, we have the Four of Swords, which is another card of feeling exhausted, tired, worn out, needing to take a step back, a temporary step back, in order to rest and recuperate, maybe get a different perspective, because especially if you have significant decisions to make, it's never a good idea to make them when you're in this kind of space, tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, angry, hungry, all of that kind of stuff. This is a card about taking a temporary step back in order to recuperate, recover, maybe get a different perspective on it. If you can at all, particularly during the first week of June, Leo, it looks like, take what breaks you can. If you're working and you can't afford to take a day off work, then try to make sure that you carve out some time outside of those responsibilities to do whatever it is that makes you feel rested, recuperated, nap, bath, Netflix, a walk in the woods, whatever it is, to take care of yourself. Because it looks like the first week of June, the challenge is, just feeling tired and exhausted and worn out, and like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. So we have the Emperor, whose underlying energy is Temperance, trying to stay balanced, trying to... Let's clarify the Emperor and Temperance. I feel like there's something else kind of going on just under the surface with the Emperor. I mean, on the surface, there's a reason why the Emperor is an Emperor. It's not like he's a faker or something. Although there may be days where, the weight of the job of being Emperor gets to you, and you feel like, just running away, but you can't because, you're the Emperor. Let's clarify that. Okay, we had two jump out. The Moon and the Knight of Cups. Am I going to be doing this by myself? Am I going to be shouldering this by myself for forever? Is there ever going to be any help? Is somebody going to step up and help me or help share the burden? Or, I mean, the moon, can represent deep spiritual stirrings. It can also represent feeling like the future is unclear, the way is not altogether clear. Things are cloudy. There might be some hidden or deep-seated fears which may be unrealistic. I mean, the moon sheds light, the sun sheds light, but the light that the moon sheds is different. It's a thin, watery light. Under the light of the sun, everything is clarified, but it's illuminated. The shadows are banished. But under the light of the moon, there's a lot of shadows, shadowy corners and hidden nooks and recesses, and you don't know what might be lurking or hiding in there. That gnarly old tree in the backyard that is a gnarly old tree because you see it in broad daylight, and that's what it is. But when you go out on your porch in the middle of the night and the moon is shining, it can look like a monster. So the moon can represent unrealistic fears or fears which aren't entirely reality-based, those deep-seated fears that during the day, when you're the emperor, you shove those aside. But this is under the surface. And then the Knight of Cups is, somebody charging forth to offer, love, support, encouragement, perhaps to help shelter the load. So again, Leo, you're holding it together. You're tired, you're exhausted. It's a bit better in the second week of June. We're only looking at a short period of time, just 2 weeks. But underneath that, you're keeping it all together, and underneath that, you're kind of wondering is this all there is? Am I just going to have this feeling of treading water and, being like a hamster in one of those gerbil cages? You have to keep going in order to keep it going, but where does it ever stop? And is anybody going to step up and help, or are you going to be, the only one kind of operating under this? And thinking about that doesn't, for some of you it might be, is my partner ever going to step up? Am I going to be shouldering this on my own for forever? Maybe you're working and your partner's out of work. It could be maybe you're single and alone and you don't want to be, and you want someone to come and be your empress, or if you're an empress you want someone to come and be your emperor and to kind of help shoulder this. And maybe you're afraid that that's never going to happen, that this this 10 of Wands and 4 of Swords energy, when we're in this kind of energy, it kind of gives us blinders, and we can't see anything else, and it feels like it's going to stretch out for forever, but it's not. It is coming to an end. So let's wrap this up, Leo, with some advice and guidance from Spirit. What is the best way for Leo to navigate through this energy the first 2 weeks of June? What should they focus on? We have the Knight of Coins, so pretty much what you're doing, because I think things are going to be getting better for you in the second half of June, or by July at the latest. The Knight of Coins is, he's putting one foot in front of one foot in front of the other, slow and steady. Pay attention to the details, moving forward, but not rushing, just taking things one step at a time. Right behind that is the Nine of Coins, which is about focusing on your own physical security, on yourself, basically. I mean, the Nine of Coins is a card of independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment. Whether you're single or whether you're not, this is somebody who enjoys who they are. They love who they are. They love their life, how hard they've worked to get there, and they're enjoying that. It's a card about kind of being independent. And if you're single, this is card, I mean, if this person can take care of themselves just fine, as it looks like you can too, in spite of whatever your fears might be. If they want to be with someone else, they'll take their time, because it's not out of a sense of compulsory need. They're absolutely fine in their own space. So your advice, whether you're single, whether you're with someone else, or whether this is just about work, is to just keep focused on the earth energy area of your life. Your job, your money, your own independence, and your own self-empowerment too, taking care of yourself, um, maybe even indulging yourself on a daily basis. It's interesting because right behind that is the Ace of Coins, lots of earth energy here, which is something new beginning, a new project, a new job, moving, relocating, something which is beginning in a very practical way, but it holds the potential for a lot of stability and abundance. So, and I feel like that's right around the corner, Leo. Maybe you can't see it. All of this work, all of this effort, which is why you're feeling so tired and worn out, for if it's anything to do with money, finances, material stuff, projects, that's going to be paid off. I mean, it's going to be paying off because it's coming to a close and you're going to be starting something new. If this is more focused on relationship, then again, your advice is the same. Focus on yourself. This is not, it doesn't look like a time period where you're being asked to make changes or even contemplate changes. It's just about finishing up something that you're in, because something new is going to be happening quite soon for you. I feel, again, either the second half of June or the very beginning of July. This energy is going to be dissipating because something new is coming in for you, particularly those of you for whom this is going to be a financial, material, project-related reading. For relationships, it's just about taking care of yourself and not being focused so much on, your partner and things around your partner, your home, or your family. I mean, not to say abandon your responsibilities, but do what is essential for you to do, and the rest of the time, focus on yourself. Focus on what makes you feel good and feel stable and feel more rested, particularly around the first week of June. So Leo, that is your reading for the first half of June. I hope that you found it helpful and useful. If you did and you'd like to reach out for a deeper look at something, set up a personal reading, just click on the description link below, click on the little arrow that pulls down information, and you'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you, so send me an email if you're interested. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the June 2020 mid-month general readings. Until then, I wish you much joy and blessings. Stay safe and well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care.